Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today is a weekly Star Wars recap for October 12th, 2020. So, yeah, got a lot of publishing, news, books and comics and whatnot. There's three stories I'm going to be talking about. Some High Republic news, all 40 stories for The Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view revealed, and some January 2020 Marvel comics, which were revealed earlier than usual on StarWars.com. So yeah, but first there are some new releases. It's just all comics. So stuff for last week, there was a Star Wars issue 7, which starting off a new story arc. So yeah, I thought it was a good issue. I should be having a review out of that. If sorry up, it'll probably be up tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I don't know. It'll be up sometime this week. So yeah. And then the first issue in the Star Wars Adventures relaunch came out, which I guess I'll just talk about this issue a bit more, because I probably won't be doing a review of it anytime soon. So yeah, it was whatever. The Adventures comics, there's usually two stories. The first one featured Rey, Finn, and Poe, sometime in between, the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. And Finn and Poe set up like a training course for Rey, and she goes and does it, but then, she falls down, gets caught by some pirates, and stuff happens. I really didn't care for it. And the art was kind of whatever. And then the second story really wasn't anything special. It was just a retelling of when Vader goes into in The Empire Strikes Back, when Battle Hoth, Vader goes into Echo Base. So yeah, nothing really special. The art though, I definitely enjoyed the art with that story. Thought that looked nice, but yeah, the Adventures comics, I read a few of the first series, and I haven't really. They've done some mini-series, I really haven't read those either, so yeah. Obviously they're not made for me. Definitely made for younger audiences, but that's whatever. But new releases coming out this week, only one, and that is Darth Vader issue 6, which will come out October 14th, 2020. So, yeah, I believe this will be starting a new story arc also, so it's exciting there. The Bounty Hunters comic this month will also be starting a new storyline, so yeah, but yeah, that's it for new releases, so let's jump into the news. There's a lot. I'm going to start off with High Republic stuff, which, at New York Comic Con, well, it's like an at-home thingy. There's two Lucasfilm publishing panels. There's sort of, Lucasfilm publishing panel. There really wasn't much of anything there, but there was a panel for the High Republic, which revealed some, character and some story details, and nothing super crazy, but they did announce some stuff for the next phase of High Republic stories. So yeah, and there will also be a short story in the Star Wars Insider magazine in December, written by Charles Soule, High Republic short stories, so that's cool. And from the sounds of it, seems like there'll be more short stories in Star Wars Insider more often again, because they used to do those a little bit, but I haven't done in like a few years, so that's cool. I would assume that maybe more High Republic short stories and the other stuff, tying the novels, just random stuff, but yeah. And there's also a few new pages from Kevin Scott's Marvel Comics series, High Republic Marvel Comic series. Cool, it's only like 300 pages, but yeah. But like I said, the next phase of High Republic novels were announced. No details or anything. It's just who's writing them. So yeah, nothing crazy. But the next adult novel will be written by Kevin Scott, and it already has a pre-order page up and whatnot. It doesn't have a actual title. It's just High Republic Novel 2, but it has a release date listed, which is July 6th, 2021. So yeah, obviously that could change, but I don't know. And also, Justine Ireland will be writing the young adult novel for the next phase, which she is writing the High Republic Junior novel, Test of Courage. And that Daniel Jose Older will be writing the next junior novel, also for the High Republic, which he's writing the High Republic Adventures comic series. So yeah, there's no word if Claudia Gray will be writing another High Republic story, but Michael Siglain, Lucasfilm Publishing creative director, said in a tweet, "You'll have to wait and see." So yeah, don't know if that means another High Republic story or something completely different. Who knows? But like I said, there was all 40 stories revealed for The Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view. Just like the first one, they revealed them with little images on Twitter and whatnot, which 40 is a lot, so I'm not gonna be listing all of them. Talking about all of them. I'll kind of just run them down and whatnot. Maybe talk about some what I'm more interested in. So yeah, but first there's Eyes of the Empire, which were written by Kirsten White. It'll be about a character named Malia, who seems like an original character. Then there will be Hunger, written by Mark Oshiro, which will be about a Wampa. And there's Ion Control, which will be written by Emily Skrutsky. I don't know. I'm going to be butchering names, which will be about Corin Farr, who appeared in The Empire Strikes Back. And then there's A Good Kiss, which will be written by C.B. Lee. It will be about Chase Wilsore, who was in the hallway when, Han and Leia are arguing. Then there's She Will Keep Them Warm, which will be written by Delilah S. Dawson, which will be about a character named Murrah. It was new. Then there's Heroes of the Rebellion, which will be written by Amy Ratcliffe, which will be about a character named Corey Selgroth, who's a new character. Then there's Rogue 2, which will be written by Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One, or was a co-writer on Rogue One, which it'll be about Rogue 2, Zev Sineska. And then there's Kendall, which will be written by Charles Yu, which will be by Kendall Ozzel, the Imperial guy who Vader kills. That's obviously very broad. Then there's Against All Odds, which will be written by R.F. Kang, which will be about Dak Ralter, who's Rebellion pilot. And then there's Beyond Hope, which will be written by Michael Murachi, which will be about a new character named Iman Kerf. And then there's The Truest Duty, which will be written by Christy Golden, which will be about General Veers. Then there's A Naturalist on Hoth, which will be written by Hank Green, which will be about a Tauntaun caretaker. And then there's Dragon Snake Saves R2-D2, which will be written by Katie Cook, which will be about the Dragon Snake, I guess, in Dagobah. Then there's For the Last Time, which will be written by Beth Revis, which will be about Admiral Piet. And then there's Rendezvous Point, which will be written by Jason Fry, which will be about Wedge Antilles, which I believe they said that one will be the longest story in the novel. And then there's The Final Order, which will be written by Seth Dickinson, which that would be about Imperial Bridge Officer. I believe that one's revealed already. And then there's Amara Kell's role for TIE Pilot Survival, probably. which will be written by Django Wexler, which will be about a character named Amari Kell. And there's the first lesson, which will be written by Jim Zub, and will be about Yoda. And there's the Serpent, which will be written by Mike Chen, which will be about Darth Sidious slash, the Emperor. And then there's This Is No Cave, which will be written by Catherine M. Valentine, which will be about the Exegorth, the big worm thingy. And then it'll be Lord Vader Will See You Now, which will be written by John Jackson Miller, which will be about Ray Sloan. And then there's Virgins, which will be written by Tracy Dion, which will be about the Cave of Evil, the dark side cave that Luke goes into. And then there's Tooth and Claw, which will be written by Michael Cogg, which will be about Bosk, probably butcher name. And then there's Stet, which will be written by Jason Jose Older, which will be about TK7. He seems like a new character. I'm not really sure. And then there's Wait For, which will be written by Zoraida Cordova, which will be about Boba Fett. And there's Standard Imperial Procedure, which will be written by Sarwat Chada, which will be about a character named Ashen, new character. Then there's Always Another, which will be written by Mackenzie Lee, which will be about Obi-Wan. Then there's Fake It Till You Make It, which will be written by Kavan Scott, which will be about Jackson. And then there's But What Does He Eat, which will be written by S.A. Chakraborty, which will be about a character named Toro. And then there's Beyond the Clouds, which will be written by Lilum Rivera, which seems like be from a crazy person, obsessive like Boba Fett. And there's No Time for Poetry, which will be written by Austin Walker, which will be about Dengar and IG-88. And there's Bespin Escape, which will be written by Arthur Wells, about an Ugnaught. And then there's Faith and Old Friend, which will be written by Brittany Ann Williams, which will be from the point of view of L3 through 7. And there's Dune Bot 2, which will be written by Rob Hart, which will be from the point of view of Will Rowe Hood. Finally learn what's in that ice cream maker. And then there's Into the Clouds, which will be written by Kara Strong, which will be from the point of view of a character named Jalen Siri. Then there's The Witness, which will be written by Adam Christopher, which will be from the point of view of Dan Lorne, which is a new character. And then there's The Man Who Built Cloud City, which will be run by Alexander Freed. I'm not really sure who this is supposed to be from the point of view of, I guess, someone who built Cloud City. I don't know. And then there's The Backup Plan, which will be run by Ann Toll, which will be from the point of view of a character named Tall. And then there's Right Hand Man, written by Lina Kang, which will be from the point of view of 21B, the medical droid who, fix up Luke's hand. I gave him the fake one. I can't think right now. And then there's The Whales That Strike Back, which will be run by Tom Engelberger, which will be from the point of view of the whales, kind of like in the first Brainstorm point of view, he did that type of story. But yeah, so yeah, that's all that. That was very long. Anyways, I'm gonna jump into the final story, which is about the 2020 Marvel January 2021 comics, I should say, not 2020. That's gonna be 2021. So yeah, I just randomly reviewed on StarWars.com. Usually it's later in the month when they're revealed. Usually like every single Marvel comic and is revealed. This doesn't have the High Republic comic, so yeah. Also, Dr. Aphra issue 7, which was originally supposed to come out in December, was, I guess, pushed to January, which it was on this, so I've already talked about that issue, so no need to talk about it. So yeah, there's no release dates for any of these comics yet, so yeah, but Star Wars issue 10, which will be written by Charles Soule with art by Jan Bazaldola. I don't know how to pronounce him. Which description of that reads, Operation Starlight Part 2 of 3. Reeling from their loss of one of their own, the rebels finally see a path forward. The rebels attempt to create a new communication code that the Empire will never be able to crack, in hopes that they might be able to safely reunite their scattered fleet and rejoin the fight. However, the code has a cost, one that Lando Calrissian is not willing to pay. Meanwhile, Starlight Squadron, the group of elite pilots tasked with finding the scattered division of the fleet, heads out on its first deadly mission. So yeah, code has a cost. I wonder if that means Lobot, but who knows? Kind of shitty to kill Lobot off so quickly, but obviously I hope Lobot has a happy ending, but yeah, definitely excited. I've been really liking this series so far. And then there's Darth Vader Issue 9, which will be written by Greg Pak with art by Raphael and Co. And the script for that reads, The assassin returns. In his search for vengeance in the depths of Mustafar, Darth Vader has seized a mysterious key to the Emperor's greatest secret. But the key itself needs a key which only the deadly assassin Ochi of Bestoon seems to have. Vader and Ochi are in for the fight of their lives, with the fate of the Emperor in the balance. But how much of this is all Palpatine's plan? And what happens when the Sith Lord and the Sith assassin start to figure that plan out? So yeah, continuing on with this arc, more connecting to the rise of Skywalker, with Ochi, who was introduced in that movie. So yeah, definitely interesting there. And then there's Bounty Hunters Issue 9, which will be written by Ethan Sachs with art by Pedro Villanueva. Anyways, the description for that says, the Terminus Gauntlet continues. Trapped on a rebel transport under attack by pirates, Valance must make a desperate gambit to survive, but little does a cyber bounty hunter know he's on a collision course with his old rival, Dengar. Plus, a familiar face makes a shocking return with a plan that will change the underworld forever. So yeah, that's all that. Lots of reading. My mouth is dry. Which that reminds me, I completely forgot to write this in, but there was on Stars.com, they revealed a opening scroll for Star Wars: The High Republic, which I guess I will read that. Which that said, Star Wars: The High Republic, the galaxy is at peace, ruled by the glorious Republic and protected by the noble and wise Jedi Knights. As a symbol of all that is good, the Republic is about to launch Starlight Beacon into the far reaches of the Outer Rim. This new space station will serve as a ray of hope for all to see. But just as a magnificent renaissance spreads through the Republic, so does a frightening new adversary. Now the Guardians of Peace and Justice must face a threat to themselves, the galaxy, and the Force itself. ... So yeah, but that's gonna be it for the news this week. A lot of stuff. Well, it was only 3 stories, but a lot of reading I had to do. But yeah, this week you check out some content. I'll be doing more Star Wars Squadrons playthrough parts, which you can check out all the other ones I've done. And yeah, I'll be doing more this week, and I'll have other reviews out and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, not much else to talk about. So I'm going to this one off here. I've been Star Wars, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
You expect me to search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers?
This is the way.